This is the Northern Dragon, a Tier 7 Pan-Asian premium destroyer. The ship has deep water torpedoes like all of the other Pan-Asian ships, and at first glance the ship looks like it has slightly worse stats than the Loadout, which is a pretty formidable destroyer in its own right, but the Northern Dragon has something the Loadout does not have, and it has those torpedo boosters, reload boosters. It has 3 of them, and this can be the difference maker in a match. So with that, let's check out the setup of the ship and the commander, who is Deng Shichang. And I did try to go with a gunboat-centric setup here because at first glance the ship also looked like it wanted to be a gunboat, but I did end up going with Deng Shichang. And as you're going to see in the gameplay video, the guns really do hold their own even with a torpedo-centric commander. The base trait is Quantum of Solace. Destroyer detectability and torpedo damage is improved. And inspirations, I went with a double concealment inspiration here of Eric Bay Shifty, improves destroyer detectability, and Jerzy Swirsky Hide and Seek, same thing right there. And yeah, you do get a 5.1 kilometer concealment when it's all said and done. Subsurface Venture is the first skill, which improves the torpedo speed and the launcher reload time, but you do take a hit on the main battery reload time. And then we have Look at Me Now, which improves the sea detectability yet again, and this is the maximum concealment possibility for the Northern Dragon here with this setup, with all of these concealment setups with the skills and the inspirations. Third skill is Back in Stock, which improves the torpedo launcher reload time. I went with this instead of Perceptive, which a lot of people use, and after a while you just kind of get used to it, but Perceptive can be very helpful to let you know where the closest opposing ship is. And then I went with Smoke on the Water for the fourth skill. Improves the smoke screen dispersion time and its deployment time. And then we went with Unstoppable for the legendary skill, which improves the engine repair time, and it also allows for reduced mobility with a disabled engine and or rudder. And this is kind of like the important thing here with Unstoppable. But the special effect when you're within 4.5 kilometers of an enemy ship here with this setup with legendary rank 2, special effect is the damage control party cooldown time is cut in half. That radius will go up to 7.5 kilometers if you go up to legendary rank 4. So let's check out the upgrades for the Northern Dragon. First upgrade is Aiming Systems Mod 1. Dispersion of the main battery is improved by 7%, and the torpedo launcher traverse speed is improved by 20%. And then I went with Propulsion Mod 2 here for the second upgrade slot. Time taken to reach full power is improved by 50%. And then we went with Concealment System Mod 1. Detectability range is improved by 10%, as is the incoming fire dispersion, and this really doubles up on your fully upgraded camo. And then the last upgrade is Gunfire Control System Mod 2, which improves the main battery dispersion and its firing range, and this is a holdover from my testing of the ship with a gun-centric approach. Torpedoes, even though you improve the speed of the reload by 15%, the torpedo reload was so long I went with, or so great, it was still really high even with this module enabled. I ended up helping out the gunfire control here with Deng Shichang, and the results were pretty good. Loadout, you have your normal ammunition of high explosive and armor piercing, and torpedo, deep water torpedoes, which we will get into in a second. Consumables, damage control party duration is 5 seconds, reloads every 40 seconds, and you have an unlimited number of those consumables. And the smoke generator consumable duration is 29 seconds, dispersion is 131 seconds, so that's pretty good. reloads every 240 seconds, so that is kind of a long reload there on the smoke generator. And the next consumable is the engine boost consumable, which will temporarily increase the ship's maximum speed by 8% here when the consumable is active. Duration is 120 seconds, reloads every 180 seconds, and you have 2 of those consumables. The other option there is the AA module, and you can't really guarantee you're in a match with a aircraft carrier, so I went with the engine boost. And then you have the Torpedo Reload Booster here, and this is a big deal, and this is the difference maker with the Northern Dragon as far as I'm concerned. It improves the torpedo launcher reload time by 5 seconds every time you activate the consumable, and that is big time. It turns that single torpedo rack into 2 torpedo racks within 5 seconds, and it reloads every 160 seconds, and you have 3 of those consumables. And for boosters, I don't have any set up right now, but that could change depending on the circumstances. And the ship comes with this awesome Northern Dragon premium skin. Sea detectability range and incoming fire dispersion is 4.5% respectively. Look at that. That is pretty cool. I like it anyway. And the stats. Survivability hit points is 19,700. Armor is 13 to 20 millimeter. Do not get hit. Artillery, you have 8 guns. They reach out to 11.7 kilometers with this setup. Reload every 5.2 seconds. Traverse time is 11.3 seconds, and that is about twice what the Loyang traverse time is, but it's not really a problem when you're in an actual match. At least I haven't found it to be a problem. HE shell damage is 1,500 with an 8% chance of setting fire, and you do set fires pretty efficiently with the Northern Dragon, as you're going to see in the highlight. Armor-piercing shell damage is 20,050. Torpedoes, you have 1 launcher of 4 torpedoes. Reloads every 100 seconds. Traverse time is 6 seconds. Maximum damage is big time at 21,533. Detectability is 0.8 kilometers, which is pretty good. The range of the torpedoes goes up to 12 kilometers, and the speed is 71 knots, which is pretty snappy. Those torpedoes do move pretty good. AA defenses, okay, I don't really notice it. I've cleared the sky with the Northern Dragon, but I've only had the ship for a week. Time will tell. Maneuverability, maximum speed is 33 knots. Turning circle radius is 730 meters, and it does seem like it's not really all that tight. I got to tell you that much. Rudder shift time is 4.5 seconds. Concealment is maxed out at 5.1 kilometers. Detection range by sea. Range by air is 3 kilometers, and the all-important detectability while firing in the smoke is 2.2 kilometers. And then we have the armor view. Yeah, whatever you do, do not get hit. Overview, the ship is tough. It has an above average base HP rating. Sticky shot, reduced ricochet chances, greater chances of penetrating enemy ship armor at sharper angles. I guess I'm going to have to give the armor piercing a little bit more of a try. Pyromania, above average chances for HE shells to cause a fire, and that is true. I don't think I've used AP at all, and mostly stuck with high explosives, and the results are pretty darn good. So then the Northern Dragon is a ship to triumph over foes. Unleashing fury goes a long way, apparently. But as hostile as this boat looks, there's no denying she's a sight for your sore eyes. And entered service in 2023, and there is 1 ship in the series, and this is awesome. I really do like the ship. All right, well, that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go out in a standard match and check out some highlights. All right, we're in Neighbors. This is one of my favorite maps. Probably a lot of other players out there. This is one of their favorite maps as well. Here's checking out the teams, and the first thing that hits me is I don't really see too many obvious radar ships here in this Tier 7 match, so that is a blessing from above, actually. This is going to be awesome. A couple of Iowas, a Vanguard, a Magi. This is a lot of damage that could be potentially farmed here, so this is This is good. I'm liking this. I don't really like matches with a whole bunch of destroyers where you go gunboat crazy. I've always been limited with that, so I'm probably getting a little bit better, but for now we are just going to go over here, over toward A. A lot of times I like to go around the far side of A, but this time I'm going to keep it in close to the island, and when we get up close to that island over there right in front of us, you're going to see how tight it is, and I have to throttle down and throttle up to negotiate around the potential turn here, but that's going to be coming up in a little bit. So the Vanguard is in range, and there I took some shots, and yeah, we're holding off on the reload booster at this point, and we are closing up on this island pretty good. So now I'm going to see if I can negotiate around this turn right here. This looks pretty tight. So here I've gone to a full stop and I'm drifting as I've got the full left rudder, and then I'm going to power up a little bit and try to go back down and just kind of well, I guess I'm scooching my way around this turn right there. And there is a Z-23 that is going to get wiped out by my deep water torpedoes. And yeah, you're going to see why you don't want to shoot your deep water torpedoes at a destroyer here. And check that out. Went right underneath that guy, and he didn't even know it, probably. I don't know. Hopefully he didn't think I was aiming at him. Doesn't matter if he did. But here this Vanguard is looking pretty good. He's broadside, so we can farm a lot of damage. I did hit the smoke, and this is kind of a creeping smoke. It's not really a full-blown rolling smoke, I don't think, but it does creep along with you if you stay at about a quarter speed, which is what I'm doing. And now we're just going to start taking some shots at that Vanguard. Got 19 hits already, so just like that, we got a bunch of hits. Pretty much all of them are shatters, so pretty much what you're going to see here is either a shatter or a fire. But there's a fire right there and some more shatters, so we've got just shatters and fires. And so we've got 2 fires on, was that like 40 main gun hits? And here's a couple of Iowas, and again, none of these guys have radar or sonar, and even if they did have sonar, 11 kilometers away is too far. So here this guy looks like he's at a pretty steady speed, so I'm firing my deep water torpedoes in that direction. I still haven't used Torpedo Reload Booster yet. And then I'm starting to think that, hey, I've got a Torpedo Reload Booster here, so I went ahead and hit the Torpedo Reload Booster, and now we got another shot of torpedoes ready. And I did kind of cut that island kind of close. I think one of those torpedoes, yeah, one of those torpedoes did hit the island, but we got 3 of them that are on their way. So let's see if we can get some hits on that Iowa with either of these shots of torpedoes here. Can't really see the guy, but there he is. Looks like he's going to get a couple torpedo hits right there. And the one thing about the deep water torpedoes is more times than not, it seems like 70-80% of the time or so, maybe even higher than that, each deep water torpedo hit does produce a flood, and that is awesome. So if you're in a Havoc mission or something where you need to produce floods, fire up those deep water torpedoes and see if that works for you, because generally works for me that way. And so now we've got another fire started on this Iowa, and we are up to 60,000 damage here, all within 5 minutes. And now our smoke screen has dispersed, so I'm holding off firing on the Iowa, because as soon as I'm spotted, the entire team is going to, well, they're basically going to try to wreck me. And so I'm holding off the guns, and I'm just going to creep around here, let these torpedoes reload, and take some open water shots at the Iowa and see if we can get some more hits and floods. And it looks like he's steady on. So I fire the torpedoes, and we are just going to basically wait out here and let the torpedoes close in on the Iowa. We're 30 seconds away from another torpedo reload booster. 77,500 damage, all within the first 6 minutes.
Enemy battleship detected.
And yeah, I've noticed that the main guns here on the Northern Dragon and a lot of the other higher tier Pan-Asian destroyers do seem like they're pretty potent. So I don't really have a problem in a gun fight with another destroyer with the Northern Dragon or even a Loyang, but I would prefer to avoid it if I could. And all right, we hit another torpedo reload booster, and we're just waiting for the speed to even out here when you don't really see the aiming indicator moving around like that. The speed is kind of stabilized, and once the speed is stabilized, that's where I'm going to take my shot. That looks pretty good.
Smoke generator started.
We're going to see if that will do it. And here I hit the smoke again, and we're just going to sit here and hit the Iowa. Apparently, as soon as I hit the smoke, he came to a full stop because, well, I'm not sure if that is random chance or he came to a full stop because of the smoke. For sure, he did come to a full stop here, and it was a pretty abrupt full stop. It seemed, well, it seemed like a really abrupt full stop. It actually surprised me. Look at how far off those torpedoes were. It's almost like as soon as I fired the torpedoes, he hit the brakes and stopped. So I can't really explain that, but that's essentially what happened. And we did start another fire here.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
And it looks like we're down in the match big time. So we're down 524 to 241. So we've got some work to do if we have any chance to win the match. And 8 minutes are basically gone, a little bit more than 8 minutes. We started yet another fire, so 8 fires. The Northern Dragon has no issues, no problems starting a fire. That is absolutely for sure. And that is even with Deng Shichang, the torpedo master. So here we did get a Witherer and an Arsonist on our first destroyed ship. Looking around, we have a minute left in the smoke screen, and it's really too bad that I don't see anybody. So at this point, I'm thinking I just need to push out of the smoke screen and start capturing B if I can. So that is the initial plan right here, is to come over on B. I'm looking over here where that Iowa was that we've almost taken down to nothing. He is over there to the right. And there he is right there. He has recovered his health pretty well, and he is out of range. So the strategy is to go in here and start capturing B and move up, close in on the Iowa, and try to take him out with the torpedoes. If we can. First we have to close up here, and frankly I have no idea where the destroyers are, the other destroyers on the red team. And if you look at the mini map right here, all the way over on the other side by C, one of my teammates is closing up on the red team battleship that looks like he's wedged himself into the border. I'm not sure if he's away from the keyboard or what's really going on, but it looks like the nose of that battleship is wedged into the border there, and he is gone. So not really sure what was going on there, but yeah, I guess that kind of a thing will happen quite regularly in the game. Could have lost his network connection. Maybe someone was yelling at him. Maybe the dog did something, who knows. But that battleship is gone. We've almost captured B, and Somehow the Iowa is wisely backing up. That's pretty weird. It's almost like he has ESP or something and he knows there is danger. Yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it. Why did that other Iowa hit the brakes as soon as I fired the torpedoes? This guy's backing up and all he knows is somebody is in B. Maybe he's just that good of a player.
Deactivated.
But all right, with the last torpedo reload booster here, we are going to close up on the Iowa. He doesn't really have much left. And at 72 knots, these torpedoes do move around pretty well. So here is a destroyer closing in on us. And yeah, we are spotted right now. So plan A is to take another shot at the Iowa with these torpedoes and kind of cover the spread there while I try to deal with the Gajamada with our main guns. We do take them out, and at the same time the torpedo takes out the Iowa and we get a double strike. So there is a somewhat rare double strike. You don't see that all the time. And now I got to admit, I'm thinking about a Kraken. There's 2 ships left, and there's this Vanguard. Got another minute to go on the torpedoes, but I am out of the Vanguard's detection range, so he can't see me. But if I can swing around in a minute, and that's like almost too long, but if I can swing around in a minute, I have a feeling I would take this guy out. And here's some random torpedoes coming, and this is like the end of a great match, it seems like. But nope, only 1 torpedo hit, but we are way down in health. This is not really helping me out at all. And there's that other destroyer, the Z-23. He has nothing left. And there, we take him out, and somehow he gets some shots off right as he got destroyed, and he took me out. So we ended the match on 4 destroyed ships, a few medals there. All right, well, the battle is ended. That was a big time come from behind victory in the Northern Dragon. We have 518 credits that we earned in the battle on 105,000 battle performance, total damage on 222 main gun hits. That is awesome. 3 torpedo hits on 4 destroyed ships. 9 fires were set and 3 flooding. So each torpedo hit caused a flooding right there. We got 2 defendeds. We got a captured flag, a Witherer medal, a double strike medal, and an arsonist. So let's see how we did on the team result. First place overall in the match with 2694 XP, pretty much 2700. All right, that is a great showing for the Northern Dragon. And yeah, that's what you can do if you don't have hardly any radar ships in the game at Tier 7. So you don't see that very often. And by the time it was all said and done, we got 417,000 credits we cleared. Wow. That is a big haul of credits and a big haul of hardware right there with all those medals. And that is about it for the Northern Dragon and Deng Shichang commanding. I really like the ship, especially with those torpedo reload boosters. And yeah, the guns are pretty good. Everything about the ship is awesome, I think. I even like the camo or the skin. So there you go on that. Let me know what you think down below. This is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.